All right, so getting a little video. Cudi, we're working him as it's finally cooled down a little bit more outside in the front. So one thing I noticed is he's not a very trusting dog, and that's why we're seeing a lot of the aggression. So there's things that spook him. That's very, he doesn't very much trust me. Sit, good boy. I am now, we've done a couple sessions, and so I'm now starting to add some e-collar with it, and it's helping a ton because there's a lot less conflict between him and I. So when I'm putting maybe some pressure on a dog to like sit or wait at a door, I have to physically put some kind of pressure, especially if they don't want food, some kind of physical way to stop them. So like leash pressure, spatial pressure, all of those things. And because he's not very trusting and has more, that bulldog tenacity, he's like, okay, are we fighting? What are we doing? And so whereas like the e-collar can kind of help change the pressure, where it's not like we're not going to war, him and I, where I'm just trying to communicate with him that I need you to stop at this threshold before going through. Okay, let's go. Good boy, buddy. So that's kind of the first thing, is just like we went potty. Now we're just going to come out and do a little bit of work. My son's on his motorcycle. And he's done okay. If we're out here in the house is a little bit of a different story. So we're just going to work a little bit on some impulses. So I want to make sure that he's focused on me. If he goes out ahead of me, I'm just going to turn and start putting the e-collar stimulation on him. So, or if he's just like really distracted like this, I'm going to do a little e-collar. So it changes from him like wanting to rev up right there on McKay, my husband, into you've got to pay attention to me. So the pressure comes on far away from me, and it goes away when he comes next to me. I don't really need him to be in a perfect heel position yet. We've been working on this slowly. It's more like I need you to trust and not blow up on the neighbors. Come on, buddy. Let's go. So he goes out ahead. He's already like, whose butt am I kicking? So e-collar comes on. Good job, buddy. And it goes away when you follow me. Good boy. So I'm manipulating my footwork a little bit. I've thrown in a couple little vibrates. Vibrate is a little bit more dramatic for him. I'm on a level 8, which is fairly low. His collar is loose because he just has a hard time with me putting it on him, and I don't want to ruin any kind of trust, so I'm putting it on kind of loose. And so we want it to be snug as he continues this process, because it will keep the levels somewhat more consistent. Good job, buddy. But for now, we're just working with what we have. So that's an 8, barely feels it. And then occasionally, if he's too fixated on neighbors coming home from work, I'll put the vibration on. That interrupts his pattern, but it's not bringing the fight between him and myself. It's more like, hey, I just need you to interrupt that thought process so I can reconnect with you and show you what I need you to be doing. Good boy. All right, there he goes away. Pressure. Good. Now I've lost him. There we go. He fixed it. Mentally. So though he's kind of walking alongside me, he's more concerned about my neighbor opening his garage door. That's where a lot of the reactivity is coming from, is just like he's lingering in that, he's sitting in that, not paying attention. Good job, buddy. I'll step away. Good. Good boy. Make some room for the motorcycle. Good. Good. That was a good choice. So he got a little bit avoidant, a little bit worried. I stepped away. And then he decided to follow me. Good boy. Emmett, you need to stay on the sidewalk, dude. Don't go up in the grass with that. Good. There's a lot of avoidance, which is okay right now. I mean, where he's reacting and choosing fight, and even flight sometimes. I've seen both from him. If he's kind of like, I'm just uncomfortable, so I'm going to avoid it, I'll take it right now. So that's good. Good job, Cudi. Good boy. Good boy. There we go. That's how we're going to start building some trust, is him following me despite being unsure. So another part of this that's really important is like he has to have rules and boundaries. So he's insecure, but he takes liberty, right? So I've noticed with him, he does not want me to tell him no. But we have to follow through with that, because he can't just, be on the end of the leash reacting all the time. And food isn't always enough to break his attention, and ball is just a Band-Aid. So I need him to understand there's times where I'm going to tell you no. So like today it was bolting out the gate. He's on a leash, but I'd stop him. Nope, you got to come back. Nope, you got to come back. And there's like a little glance in his eye that he's like, well, I kind of want to fight that rule. I kind of want to fight you a little bit. And so we have to tell him no, follow through, create consistency in that. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, so this is kind of where we are, day 1, end of the day. Helping him settle. He doesn't want to go in the kennel willingly. We're working on that too. But the kennel is going to be a place where after some of these harder sessions, he can decompress. Help him process. All of our nervous systems, when we go through hard things and stressful things, need some time to decompress and turn off. Good job, buddy. Also place. We've started to work place. Good boy. Right now, I'm not really worried about how long he's on here. Yes, just that he's taking the steps to complying. Cudi, place. Make sure he sits all the way on. Good job, buddy. Good. Yes. And then over time, we're going to build upon this. Insist on some more permanence. Place. Good. So he has to be all 4 on. Good. Good boy. Yes. Good job. So I brought this out here because it was in my car and I pulled it out. Place. As the family's up. Now we've got opposition here, so I'm just going to follow through. So when he digs in like that, we want to make sure we're following through. What some people will do is they're like, oh, the pressure didn't work, and so they yield to the dog giving in, but that doesn't do him any good, because then he learns, oh, I'll just wait you out. But we want to make sure that we're following through. Good job, Cudi. Let's go. Good boy. So we're doing it. We're getting stuff done. Just being a good boy.